Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, Spirit Journey of the White Cherokee. They call me Jake. I like to share spiritual knowledge from experience. And saying that, I just mean that I like to utilize the totality of my knowledge, training, and experience to offer my perspective with respect to everyone else's perspective based on their life experience. So, no judgment. I'm definitely not someone that walks around judging other people. But I wanted to make this video because I want to bring that to light. Because I wrote a book, Holistic Pathways, Spirit Journey of the White Cherokee, and it talks about all kind of spiritual energy. It talks about consciousness, biochemistry of the body. It's all types of different things, experiences that I've had. So that's been a driving force of my life. You know, my childhood was, just a kid that come from a split family, so never really had a permanent place. I never had the subdivision to always be in, always have friends, always going to the same schools, growing up with the same people. I didn't have none of that. But I did have a place where I could be in nature. I had lots of animals. I had, I was around horses, around a lot of things in natural environment that helped me cope with emotional turmoil that no one knew how to help a kid process. People I come from, they don't know anything about processing emotional trauma. They come from it like I come from it. Their parents come from it. It goes, down the chain. And it creates a lot of problems when, there's no validity. There's no emotional validity for people. They just grow up in a world where everybody's telling them just suck it up. Don't worry about it. Man up. It's just this big thing where it's like, hey, let's just pretend like emotions don't exist, like it's some kind of, fluke of nature. It's crazy. But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is nobody really help it. They just become products of their environment, of their raising. And if they don't go beyond it, look beyond it, get beyond it, then they just become a product of it, and it goes from there. So I wanted to put this out there because I've had a lot of experiences, paranormal experiences, supernatural experiences, things that just cannot be explained, and that's always been for me a driving force behind my extracurricular activities, which back in the 90s was, like ghost hunting, and then I was getting involved in, in psychology, understanding psychology, biochemical processes, lots of studies, went back to school studying anatomy, physiology, got really into neuroscience and more psychology, human growth and development, all these different things. Just the human body, the human vessel is majestic. You go back to school and you start learning names for all the pieces and parts, that are all communicators going on in the vessel, all talking to one another to create in the now moment, actively creating the vessel that you are flowing through in this creation. So for me, it's just very intriguing. But I started really, really getting into the journey when I underwent the Gateway experience that was created by the Monroe Institute, and really gets you into the vibrational processes of your neuroscience. So your nervous systems, your sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous systems, how they interact, all kind of stuff like that. Super cool. But that being said, that later led into a Kundalini experience. Kundalini is just an ancient term that is used to describe or identify the life force energy flowing through the vessel. So I guess this real woo-woo stigma, especially in the Christian world where everything's supposed to be about the Bible. You know, don't ask any questions, don't learn anything additional, just read your Bible and ask other people that read the Bible. That way everything stays in a little circle and not much extra stuff is really learned. So at least that's been my experience. I chose not to pretend like my life didn't happen to me because the other people are so judgmental that they refuse to listen to anything outside their box. Anything outside their social programming, whatever they view as normal. It's a mess. But anyway, get into the Kundalini experience. Just to try to take some of the woo-woo out of it, it's important that people understand it's a natural process, a human vessel. It's when the biochemicals in the vessel, the neurology of the vessel, and the nervous system all reach certain chemical communication points that peak energetics and expand the awareness of your cognition. So it elevates your sensory perception, in other words. It elevates the amount of data that you can process. So it's like if you watch movies like what's it called? They made a movie a while back, and then they did like a little series off of it where a dude would pop a pill, and all of a sudden he was like a genius, and could see all these things at one time and calculate what everything's doing immediately. But it was put in the context of he has to take a pill to achieve it. And the reality is that movie is about very, very real processes that can occur on levels, not just zero to wide open like they show in the movies, but levels of growth, levels of expanded awareness that will definitely bring you into those stages that they're portraying in that movie where they take the pill, and also movies like Lucy. Of course, that's also portraying it being a drug reaction, but those reactions are just easy ways to get people to wrap their head around, hey, look at the human body's capable of so much more if it has something to help it generate these processes faster, if that makes any sense. But anyway, no pills required. Breath work, muscle contractions, just learning about thyself, getting to know thyself, that can achieve those things. And it's all science. It's science. The reality of the social structure is you've got a bunch of beings that have been educated to perceive themselves in a certain way, educated to behave in a certain way, educated to have purposes and goals in life that all meet certain parameters of the social programming, all oriented around profit, making money, things like that. Not oriented around gaining the authenticity and the connection of your own prophecy, of your own higher magnetic being, your own higher frequency, higher intensity electrical forces. This is piezoelectric charge that comes through the crystalline aspects of the vessel within the human anatomy. It's not woo-woo wizardry and devil worship and all the fear factors that false education has put into the minds of society, especially Christian society. And I'm not bashing on them because I've been a Christian my whole life, but I just connect more with the first original Christians of its origin than I do the secondary aspect of Christianity that is that seems to be the driving force of the social structure in this day, that kind of shuns and shames all that. And so anyway, it's just kind of weird. If you had the first Christians, how could you ever have second Christians unless something happened to the first Christians? Well, then you look at the story of the Antichrist and all that, and who destroyed the first Christians and changed their educational processes and turned everything into profit seeking? You put all this together, it says a lot. I'm just saying. I don't think I need to go into any more of that. To me, it just seems like a common sense kind of thing. Christianity was one thing, then it was attacked and turned into something else. So, do the math. Anyway, Kundalini is about the biochemical processes of the body, elevating sensory perception and expanding awareness, of your own cognition. So anyway, traffic's fixing to get thicker, so I'm going to jump off of this, but just wanted to say that just to try to take a little bit of the woo-woo out of it, so maybe people can stop being so judgmental, jumping to horrible conclusions about people and their judgment. Instead of giving people the benefit of the doubt, allowing them the opportunity to tell their own story. Because my experience with some people that's been a part of my life for a very long time, and that claim this huge anchoring in Christianity, they're some of the most narcissistic, judgmental people that I've ever met, and they've done a lot of emotional damage to my family in particular with their attacks and their persecution, their assumptions, and then their character attacks with where they took it and what they decided to do. Just horrible stuff. But anyway, I would like for higher education to to begin to mean something again, and people get over all this freaking judgment. But anyway, peace out, y'all. One love, one light. Later.